Deep within a forest, nestled among emerald leaves and sapphire berries lived a little bluebird. This forest was a magical place where the sunlight danced through the trees and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers. The little bluebird was small and bright, with feathers the color of the summer sky, shimmering in the sunlight. But the little bluebird had a secret. Despite his beautiful appearance, he couldn't sing. Every time he opened his beak to try, all that came out was a croak, a sound so unlike the melodious tunes of his friends. The other birds in the forest would sing beautiful melodies, their voices blending together in perfect harmony. Their voices soared through the trees, filling the air with joy and making the forest come alive with music. The little bluebird watched them with longing, his heart aching to be a part of their symphony. He dreamed of singing along, his voice blending with theirs in a harmonious chorus, creating a melody that would echo through the forest. Day after day, he practiced alone, hoping that one day his voice would match the beauty of his feathers. He would look at his reflection in the pond, imagining the day he could sing as beautifully as the others. One day, a kind friend noticed his struggle and chirped encouragingly, reminding him that everyone has their own unique song. With renewed hope, the little bluebird continued to practice, believing that one day he too would find his voice. One day, he gathered his courage. The little bluebird had always dreamed of singing with the others, but fear held him back. Today, he decided to face his fears. He stood on a branch, took a deep breath, and sang. His heart pounded in his chest as he opened his beak, hoping to join the harmonious chorus around him, or at least, he tried to. The notes that came out were not what he had imagined. The sound that emerged was a raspy squeak. It was far from the melodious tunes of his peers. The other birds stopped singing and stared. Some giggled, others whispered. Their reactions were not what he had hoped for. The little bluebird felt his cheeks burn with shame. He had never felt so exposed and vulnerable. "Maybe you're not meant to sing," chirped a robin, shaking her head. Her words stung more than the laughter. A sparrow added, "Some birds just aren't musical." The sparrow's tone was matter-of-fact, but it felt like a final judgment. "You should try something else." The chorus of discouragement was unanimous. The little bluebird, his heart heavy, flew back to his nest. Each flap of his wings felt like a struggle against the weight of his disappointment. He felt like giving up. The dream that once filled him with hope now seemed impossible. Maybe he wasn't meant to sing after all. As he sat in his nest, he wondered if he should abandon his dream, or find another way to express his heart's song. As he sat alone in his nest, a single thought bloomed in his heart. He wanted to sing. He wouldn't let the unkind words of others break his spirit. With newfound determination, he decided to practice every day. He woke up before sunrise and sang to the morning dew. He sang to the busy squirrels and the blooming flowers. He sang to the setting sun, his voice growing stronger with each note. Days turned into weeks. The little bluebird didn't give up. He practiced with all his heart, believing that one day he would sing. He discovered that his voice, while different, had a unique sound. It wasn't the same as the other birds, but it was his own. And it was beautiful. He found joy in the act of singing itself, regardless of who was listening or what they might say. The forest felt different now. It was filled with the sound of hope. One bright morning, the little bluebird perched on his favorite branch. He took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the sun on his feathers. He began to sing. This time, the sound that emerged wasn't a croak or a squeak. It was a melody, clear and strong, filled with emotion. The other birds in the forest stopped to listen. They were amazed by the beautiful song coming from the little bluebird they had once doubted. The forest was silent when he finished, a stillness that seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. And then, as if on cue, a wave of applause erupted from the trees, filling the air with a joyous cacophony. The other birds cheered and sang his praises, their voices blending into a harmonious celebration of his achievement. The little bluebird had done it. He stood there, chest puffed out with pride, knowing he had accomplished something truly special. He had found his voice, a voice that resonated with confidence and joy. From that day on, the little bluebird sang with the other birds, his melody weaving seamlessly into the forest's daily symphony. His voice, unique and strong, became a part of the forest's chorus, adding a new layer of beauty to the natural orchestra. He had learned that the most important thing was to believe in himself, to trust in his own abilities and strengths. and never give up on his dreams, no matter how distant or impossible they might seem. And that, he discovered, was the sweetest song of all, a song of self-belief, perseverance, and the joy of finding one's true voice.